Peace and blessings. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Bossy. Today I'm at my favorite cafe in the city. I like the vintage too, but I like Piety and Desire even better. They make their own chocolate here. I'm showing them the chocolate. And this one is a CBD that I'm going to definitely eat tonight. Excited about that. These are the ones that I'm going to try in-house. This is Ube, this is Brulot, this is When Life Gives You, this one is When Life Gives You Lemon Basil. This one is Salted Caramel, and I forget what this one is, but I think this one is also a basil. My period just went off, y'all, so I haven't been posting because I've been laid up. That was so good. That one was the balsamic D modern. That one that I just tried was exquisite, guys. So good. Wow. Occasionally, when I need it, especially after my period, I go and get me some chocolate. And this is the best chocolate in New Orleans. I think they partner with the Chloe. And at the Chloe, I think they put their little chocolates on the pillow, if I'm not mistaken. Salted caramel. Salted caramel filling. Oh my God. And then this is the ube. It's purple yam. This is the one that the lady who works here recommended. Don't worry, I already washed my hands. Let's try this one. Wow. That purple yam. 8. 8 down. Wow, that was delicious. So today I am reading I Love the 90s by Alexis Jondé, aka Intellectual Media, and I'm having a good time reading it. I'm learning things that I didn't know. She's my favorite historian. She's a pinup historian, an intellectual. I believe she studied history at OSU. She's a fabulous person. And I am also reading Be Fucking For Real from Dominique Webb, aka Dom. This is her subscription on Substack. It's amazing, and it's a free subscription. I honestly feel like she should charge, because this is really good quality stuff. Already has like 25 installments. She's fabulous. She's the CEO with the farm, the cowgirl I love. She is, and she's a design genius. Like, her work is fabulous. I can't remember if I found her. I think I found her page through Sucre. Sucre is one of the brands that she works really closely with, and I'm pretty sure she does a lot of the design work. But I thought that Sucre Couture was Dom's business. But if you've seen the Cult Agency and Cult Farms, that's Dominique's business. And then I found Sucre and Dom at the same time. Fabulous companies. I love them all. 10 out of 10. And I'm loving her blog. So today's topic is something that I discussed recently with a client, and it was how I've been trying to be more intentional with whom I allow to influence me. And what that means is I've come to terms with the fact that it is just human nature. It's just the way that our brains have evolved, is that we will be influenced by other people, by the people that we're spending time with, the people that we're communicating with, the people we listen to, the people that we allow ourselves to look up to, the people we admire. And so I have been seeking out the content of very specific people, like Deja Does It, aka Deja Sade, Drinkable Brian, I really like his stuff, Intellectual Media, Alexis Jande, and now Dominique Webb. I have been choosing more intentionally what I will look at, who I will listen to, the topics that I am looking into, which is how things used to be. I think it's a very new phenomenon that you essentially have an algorithm choosing for you, choosing what you will see, choosing who you will see, and choosing what is viral for whatever reason. And I don't like it. I don't like someone else deciding what I will be looking at, which is one of the main reasons that I stay off of TikTok, because that one is too easy for me to get sucked into. I'm a little bit better with Instagram because I use it as one of my main platforms to connect with my audience, and I'm a little bit more focused on what I'm sharing rather than scrolling and looking at everything and everyone else. But on YouTube with longer form content, I have to really want the information, and I have to really want to hear from that creator to spend time watching, because these are more long form videos for the most part. Intentional with what I'm watching and who I'm listening to. I really can spend a lot of time at home in silence, but there are things that I want to learn. There are things I'm interested in. So instead of haphazardly coming across people's stuff and scrolling, which honestly, especially with music, just letting a radio play or just letting it recommend music and things to you that other people liked based on what you've listened to or what you've watched, that can be really useful in finding new content. But I'd rather get, like, I heard this song called Swoon recently when I was in the car with Emma. And she's like, this song came out like 10 years ago. But I was excited to hear her music, as I always am. This Swoon is by Rising Appalachia and the Human Experience. And I like that. I like being influenced directly by someone I like and someone I love and someone I respect. Maya was here recently, and she was playing her music in my car, and I'm like, I've not heard a lot of these songs, so it's nice to hear what people that I like and love and people that I feel safe and comfortable being influenced by. It's good to hear what they're listening to, what they recommend, what they suggest. I started listening to The Big Day because Deja Does It was talking about this album and how she thinks it's very strange that a man who is excited about his wife and happy to be a husband, happy to be married, is criticized and ridiculed as being a simp instead of being a loving husband and someone to, you know, admire because of his fidelity and faithfulness. Now, I think that another thing that I'm allowing myself to be influenced by are some of my recent favorite screenwriters, the Duffer Brothers, Ross and Matt. They are the ones who wrote Stranger Things. I loved Stranger Things, so I got their behind the scenes book that is giving their inspiration, their favorite movies, the movies and books and things that inspired the specific style. I've been watching some of their favorite films, so I'm just like taking my time and being more intentional and purposeful with what I'm watching and with what I'm allowing myself to be moved into, because time is precious, attention and energy are precious, and I don't want to give too much of my time and energy haphazardly. Things are making more sense now. They are lining up a little bit better now, and I am feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit more in charge of myself. I'm feeling more deliberate and intentional. It feels okay to take my time and to slow down and to be very present. And it doesn't feel like I'm constantly losing time, like losing pockets of time and not really being able to even figure out, like, what was I even doing? What was I even watching? What were they even talking about? It was making me feel crazy. I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not, but the scrolling and then looking up and 30 minutes has passed or an hour has passed made me feel not good, like untethered. I didn't like it. So I'm trying not to do that, because one of the things that I realize is that spending so much time on platforms where there's a lot of scrolling, a lot of like number displays and follows and unfollows and all of that stuff is like constantly in your face. I didn't love it. I've also been learning a little bit about brain rot lately. Let's just pause here and see the definition of brain rot. Let's get into that for just a moment. Brain rot is a term born of the internet, and it can be used to refer to either the negative mental effects of consuming too much silly, trivial, unchallenging, low value online content, or it can be used to describe that silly, trivial, unchallenging, low value content itself. So, on one hand, it describes the state of mental and emotional and intellectual deterioration. And on the other hand, it is this low value content such as many short form videos, memes, and other digital material. Some of the symptoms when we're talking about the mental deterioration that some people are experiencing, it can be a literal decline in people's cognitive and intellectual states and abilities resulting from prolonged exposures to the silly ass content. So the difficulty with concentration that people experience, finding it harder to pay attention, to focus on things, diminished ability to remember things, to recall information. You can experiencing a lot of word finding. I know for me that is a big one. Having a difficult time expressing myself, even understanding what other people are trying to express to me. Impaired decision making and planning skills. So your ability to make decisions and to plan can be negatively affected from spending too much time engaging with this shallow, low value content on the internet. You can also experience emotional desensitization from repeated exposure to extreme content. Violent content, absurd content can lead to emotional dulling. And then also people's vocabularies, mine for sure, being affected from I feel like I experienced this all the way back in college, where shorthand text language was already starting to impact the way that I was speaking and writing. So some of the ways to combat brain rot are to do mentally stimulating activities, engaging in your hobbies, learning new skills, things that challenge the brain, like learning a new language, playing an instrument, playing chess, putting a puzzle together. Physical exercise, because that improves the brain function. So that's always a good one. Even a nice walk around the block. I've been doing a lot of walks and I think that it's really been helping. Mindful digital habits. I was talking about this recently, where you can go into the settings in your phone and change your social media settings and limit the amount of time that you can log onto these apps. And then you can engage in meaningful activities. So focusing on activities that offer you intellectual stimulation, watching documentaries, reading books, articles, journals, writing. And understanding that the symptoms of brain rot are like people noticing a cognitive decline, the decline and a weakening of the memory, I noticed that there's a lot of word finding happening over the last 2 years. Like I'm having a hard time not only understanding what the fuck people are saying, but also expressing myself. And that was making me feel really unhappy. So taking control back of what I'm giving my attention to, taking my time, slowing down. I'm currently on book 99 of, my goal was 50 for the year, but I'm on book 99 of the books that I've read this year. Last year I read 126 or 127 books, and I did it kind of with an attitude, like kind of a rebellious attitude, like y'all are not about to fry my brain in my skull, you're not going to do this to me. And because I was having a hard time focusing, I've like threw myself back into reading pretty aggressively, and it's just continued this year. I thought I would be able to kind of slow down a little bit, but I still don't feel like my mind is where I would like it to be. So I'm making the decision to challenge my mind with more writing, more reading challenging texts and journals and articles, reading things that challenge me, learning words, and possibly putting my brain and my mind to the task of learning a language. So I have a class that I signed up from Great Courses, and I'm excited about it. I'll tell you guys about that later, but that's one of the things that I want to do. So studying language, reading more challenging books, or even just reading books about more challenging topics. The book doesn't necessarily have to be hard or challenging, but I feel like at least giving my attention to more important and challenging topics. And then writing. And there is a 100-day artist challenge sort of thing. I don't want to call it a challenge, project. 100-day project that I'm going to be starting based on the book that I'm reading called The Book of Alchemy. I'll put the picture on the screen someplace. The Book of Alchemy. And I encourage you to join me if you would like to. I'm probably just going to go ahead and start that a few days before the equinox, so maybe on the 10th or the 11th, and start reading an essay and writing every single day to get myself back into the routine and habit of writing. All summer I was doing scripting, and I've also been doing this LOFI FUN, so finding ways to enjoy myself without spending too much money. Today I went to the Pharmacy Museum. It was $10 to get in. It was a beautiful time. There was actually a lot of like reading material around the museum, so I'll have to go back not so close to closing time and take my time and really read through things, but it was just beautiful to be in there. And it was a little scary too to see some of those old torture devices. And I immediately texted my papa and I told him, like, stuff looked scary. He said, for sure. Said, old medicine is scary. He said, for sure. There was a short drama series a few years back about the pioneers of surgery in the 1800s. Very scary stuff, but I bet the museum was interesting. So yeah, I will probably be continuing Lo-Fi Fun for the rest of the summer because I asked the cards about Virgo season, and I got all these cards about like frugality and temperance and earning my due and being a master of my craft. I got 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and Temperance. And I got them not in one reading, but in 2 back-to-back readings. And I'm talking about I was shuffling these damn cards. Okay. Cards the other day. One of my relatives was in town and she wanted me to pull some cards. And these are the 3 cards that came up. So 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and Temperance. So I'll probably continue Lo-Fi Fun. I might not talk about it as much, but just know that I'm still trying to have as much fun as possible, going on walks, going to museums, the bayou, going on a swamp tour, going to sit at the library, coming to the cafe, writing, reading a book like I'm doing, or going to the Broad Theater on Tuesday when the movies is only $6. Like, I am still working to have as much fun as possible without overspending. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to show you the pharmacy museum. And we have information on the exhibition right there. Self-absorbed. Yes, I'm supposed to have it right. Thank you. That's what it looks like. It looks like zombies. The disease is eating away at their faces, their noses and mouths.